You've lit the fire. Now it's time to master the storm inside. Because the final stage of self-improvement, it isn't about pushing harder, it's about thinking sharper. In part 1, we followed the loud ones. Rengoku's fire, Sanemi's fury, Giyu's silence, Tengen's flash. But today, we enter the refined side of the Hashira mindset, the ones who cut deeper. Not because they're stronger, but because they're smarter. By the end of this, you won't just move with discipline. You'll think with it. It's not that you're lazy. You're just distracted to death. Ever sit down to work and suddenly you've watched 3 reels, Googled how to focus, then somehow ended up reading about medieval sword techniques? Yeah, same. Today's world is designed to scatter your attention. Notifications, pop-ups, multitasking. Your mind isn't weak, it's overloaded. And that's the real tragedy. Because when you lose focus, you don't just lose time, you lose power. Zeno, the OG Stoic, once said, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but it is truly no small thing." He built his entire philosophy on one idea. Progress happens in inches, not miles. Forget the big breakthrough. Forget the overnight glow-up. Tiny disciplines, repeated daily, sharpen your soul like a blade. And research backs this. James Clear's Atomic Habits points to studies showing 1% improvements compound. A tiny edge in focus over time that changes everything. Muichiro, a literal amnesiac. No memories, no identity, but still his movements clean, precise, surgical. Then it hits. A flash of memory, pain, loss, purpose, and boom. He doesn't just fight better, he becomes untouchable. Not because he trained harder, because he cleared the fog. His greatest strength? Not his sword, his focus. Cal Newport's research on deep work proves focus is like a muscle. Start small, reps over hype. 3 minutes of journaling, 1 daily priority. It's not sexy, it's not Instagrammable, but it works. Muichiro doesn't get stronger mid-fight. He gets clearer, because clarity is strength. Every sword swing, every breath, deliberate. No wasted movement, no emotional flailing. That's what most people miss. They chase strength, but ignore the mind behind it. Focus is a blade. Most people never sharpen it. Ever try the 5-minute trick? 5 minutes, timer on, 1 deep focus block every day? Just 1? No phone, no multitasking. Sounds too simple until it rewires your brain. Here's another one to try. Write down 3 mental distractions you repeat every day, then cut one of them for 24 hours. Journal the difference. You don't need a sword, you need a sharper mind. Smiling while setting boundaries, that's elite behavior. Kindness gets you stepped on. Empathy gets called weak. Every time you try to be a good person, someone takes advantage. So, should you stop caring? Actually, no. You just need to weaponize your compassion. Let's be real. You show too much emotion. You get laughed at. You're too giving. They drain you dry. You try to be kind, and suddenly you're everyone's emotional punching bag. It's enough to make you wonder, is being nice even worth it? But here's what they don't teach you. Kindness without strength is a trap, but kindness with boundaries, that's strategy. Epictetus once wrote, "No man is hurt but by himself." Now hold on, that's not victim blaming, that's empowerment. What he meant was this: if someone hurts you, it's not just what they did, it's your lack of boundary that let it cut so deep. A 2015 meta-analysis in the Journal of Counseling Psychology found this too. People with strong boundary-setting skills, higher emotional resilience, lower stress. Boundaries don't make you cruel. They make you capable. Shinobu, soft voice, gentle smile, looks like she should be selling tea, not slaying demons. But when she confronts that spider demon, she doesn't scream, she doesn't posture. She says, with a deadly grin, "I'm gonna make you suffer for what you've done." And she means it. No rage, no mercy, just lethal serenity. Her smile isn't fake, it's forged. A boundary, not a mask, That's what strength looks like in disguise. Ever agree to something, then immediately regret it? Like helping a friend move when your spine is already quitting on you? Yeah, that's a boundary leak. Next time, try this. I'd love to help, but I have to protect my energy right now. You don't owe everyone access to you. You owe yourself integrity. Shinobu doesn't fight every battle. She picks the ones that protect others and herself. Kindness isn't weakness, but unguarded kindness, that's a blade with no handle. Shinobu teaches us, be kind, be soft, but never be undefended. Your compassion is sacred. Protect it like a treasure, because it is. Try this. 1. Practice saying no out loud, literally, in front of a mirror. Get comfortable with discomfort. 2. For every yes you give someone, ask yourself, am I betraying myself to do this? If yes, that smile becomes your sword, and you walk away like a Hashira. If you feel anxious, good. That means something important is about to happen. You know that tightness in your chest before a big moment? That relentless swirl in your gut? Yeah, that's not panic. That's potential loading. But here's the problem. Modern life, it mislabels readiness as fear. You get nervous before an interview. You overthink before you speak up. You doubt yourself before a challenge. And someone, somewhere, always tells you, chill out, calm down, don't overreact. But what if you're not overreacting at all? What if your nervous system's just trying to say, hey, this matters, pay attention? Psychologists even have a name for it, Yerkes-Dodson law. Too little anxiety, you underperform. Too much, you crash. But the right amount, you enter peak alertness. Your brain sharpens, your body locks in, and suddenly, you're in the zone. That zone, Obanai lives there. Picture it, the world is collapsing. Demons are flying like cursed confetti. And Obanai, still, his eyes dart, his grip tightens. His movements, surgical. He's coiled like a spring, but never unhinged. His anxiety, not a weakness, a weapon. He doesn't panic, he prepares. He doesn't fear the chaos. He dances through it. That's not calm. That's hyper-readiness. Think about athletes before game time, actors behind the curtain, or you right before hitting send on that one risky message. That buzz in your chest, that's not weakness, that's activation. Use it. Before a big moment, try this. 1 deep breath in. Feel your feet on the ground. Say, this means I care. Because anxiety only shows up when something important is at stake. And that's a gift. Obanai doesn't try to be fearless. He doesn't wait to feel ready. He trains for tension. Because warriors, they aren't calm by nature. They're calm because they've learned to stand inside the storm and not flinch. That storm in your chest, it's not a signal to run. It's your internal Hashira whispering, we're ready. So try this. 1. Ritualize readiness. Before any high-stress moment, breathe, ground, affirm. This is energy, not fear. 2. Track the tension. Keep a journal. Every time you feel anxiety, write it down. Later, track how often it led to a breakthrough. You don't need less tension. You need better training. And Obanai, he trains in tightness until it becomes grace. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do. Marcus Aurelius said that. So, what if this is your last sunrise? Would you still scroll? Would you still delay? Would you still play it safe? Or would you move? Like your next breath was your last chance to become someone greater. We act like we've got 100 years to get it right. We say, I'll start next week. I just need to feel ready. It's not the right time. But here's the truth. You don't need more time. You need more urgency. Every goal, every dream, every habit you plan to start dies quietly in the lie that you'll get around to it later. But the strongest warriors, they don't wait for later. Rengoku didn't hesitate. He saw the demon. He saw the threat. He knew he wouldn't survive, but he charged anyway, because every day he trained like it was his last. Tengen lost an arm, lost an eye, but when he walked away, he smiled because he gave it everything. And Muichiro, barely more than a kid, but he made the ultimate play without hesitation. None of them waited. None of them stalled. They lived and died like warriors, not because they wanted to, but because they were ready. You don't have to die for a cause. You just have to live like you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Try this. Every morning, set a warrior window. One mission, one goal, one thing that has to be done today. Then move like it's your last chance to get it done. One journal entry, one workout, one conversation you've been avoiding. Small, maybe, but done with intensity. That's how Hashira are made. Urgency isn't panic. It's presence. It means showing up fully. It means training with intention. It means loving like it's your last chance and working like someone else's life depends on it. Because someday, it will be your last day. And when it comes, will you be proud of how you spent the second to last? You don't need to do more. You need to live like every rep matters. Because it does. The world doesn't need more dreamers. It needs disciplined warriors. Not just people who wish they could change, but those who train for it, bleed for it, live it. Don't just watch Demon Slayer. Become one. So next time you're tempted to skip the grind, ask yourself, are you training like a Demon Slayer or just pretending to be one?